Hello, I'm Pastor Mark Lehman from Cornerstone Church in Bowie, Maryland, and we're part of the Potomac Network here. I wanted to talk to you and first of all say thank you so much for hearing God's call on your life as an MA, or at least potentially looking at that. I believe that God's called you on purpose and He has a great job for you to fulfill that only you can do. So I want to talk to you from my heart as a missions pastor and someone who loves MAs and loves missionaries. The first and foremost thing you need to remember is this: you don't work for a pastor, you don't work for a church, you don't work for the Assemblies of God, you work for Jesus Christ. He's the one that's called you. He's the one that's asked you now to say yes to His voice. So do that. So you need, and I need to understand that calling supersedes everything else. The job of your support raising is not to raise support. The job of the support raising is to be what God wants you to be and to fulfill God's call for your life. So let that always drive you. You work for God. The second thing I would say, whether you're talking to an individual or a pastor or a church, always remember that they want to feel your passion for what you're about to do. You say, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. You know where you're going. You know approximately what needs to happen there. Let them feel your passion for lost people and for the ministry that you're going to embark upon. If they don't feel your passion, they'll never want to support you. If they don't feel your passion, they'll never feel connected to you. So give them your passion, whether it be a 2 or 3 minute window, whether it be a phone call conversation, whether it be around coffee. Let them feel the passion of God birthed out of your own heart, and they can grab hold of that. The third thing is this: everyone will not be involved with supporting you, and that's okay. Sometimes you're planting, sometimes you're watering for someone else who'll come behind you. We're in this as a team. It's not about who gets there first. It's the fact that we all get accomplished the mission that God's called us to do. It's vital that you sense that if someone says no to you, it's not a rejection at all. Sometimes churches just don't get it. Sometimes pastors don't get it. Other times churches and pastors are at a difficult spot and they can't support more missionaries or missionary associates, or sometimes they just have a different kind of philosophy. That's okay. It's not your job to change them. It's your job to make sure that God keeps changing you. So keep focused there. Keep your heart right. Keep your attitude right. One of the best things you can do for your support raising as a missionary associate and for other missionary associates is to be positive, to be encouraging and be positive. If a pastor says, I just cannot support you, that's great. Just bless them. Pray for them. Say, thanks for listening to us. The hard part is sometimes you're going to have a hard time even talking to pastors. I know missionary associates in our network are asked first and foremost to have a connection with that local pastor before they just cold call them. And so if you have friends or family members who know a church pastor, then let them know, so-and-so referred me to that person. But in doing so, remember that your attitude will go a long, long way to say, you know what, God, you're going to take care of this. You're the God that moves, you're the God that answers, and if I can't trust you to help me raise support here, how can I trust you on the field? So I really believe in you. I believe that God has all things worked out for you to fulfill His call for your life. But it's vital that you don't let anything distract you. Don't let an attitude arise, even if pastors over and over again say no or friends say no. Remember, you're working for God. You're loving Him. You're living for Him. He will provide what He's called you to do. Don't worry about that part at all.